yeah. Yeah. All right. Guys. I know this came very late. Um, this time I just decided to do kind of like a birthday special. It was my birthday on Friday, so in the past week been unable to record, but I decided that, you know what, let me give you a birthday special. Let me give you all a birthday special. So today I'm just going to talk a bit about myself, things I'm grateful for, and of course we're going to be getting to know a few new songs that I discovered. Just play some of the songs. Just have a good time, right? So it's just me on the pod today. Onida is absent. I think she went on a vacation or something. I've been unable to reach her, but I think she's on a vacation. Guys, like I said, it was my birthday on Friday, and it was wonderful. Man, it was wonderful. So this episode is a get to know me episode. It's a birthday special. And you know what? If you'd like to be on the pod, if you'd like to, give your thoughts, send a mail to adeinkadamsola@gmail.com, which I would add to the description of this particular pod, adeinkadamsola@gmail.com. Send me an email. Tell me you want to be on the show, and we'll have a good time together, right? All right. So welcome to the latest episode of DPTR, Damn on People Talk Relationship. Right now, it's just Damn talking about my relationship with myself. So, before we get into it in a speedy mode, the first song that I discovered, or let me say, that's practically the only song I discovered so far this period. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Loose Talk, and that was where I heard the song for the first time, and then the song has also been making a lot of wave. And so I said, I need to put it out there. People need to hear the song. So guys, enjoy Okukun by Solana. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okunkun by Solana is a very, very wonderful song. The song is by this wonderful young girl called Solana. I mean, just listen.
Ọjọ́ ti fẹ́ ṣòkùnkùn, èmi nìkan péré, mi ò dúró kíákíá, mo múra mo méré, òun búburú nínú òkùnkùn ló máa ń dá wà. Ọjọ́ ti fẹ́ ṣòkùnkùn, èmi nìkan péré, mi ò dúró kíákíá, mo múra mo méré, òun búburú nínú òkùnkùn ló máa ń dá wà. Ohunkóhun tí mo sọ, èmi dúró lórí rẹ̀, ẹlẹ́dàá mi gbé mi sókè, òkè gidi gan, wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ kíákíá wá jẹ́ ká máa lọ. Ọjọ́ ti fẹ́ ṣòkùnkùn, bàbá wa ẹ gbà wá. Sáré sáré lọ, a ò fẹ́ rí nǹkan tí ò dá. Jẹ́jẹ́ mi mo dúró síbì kan, mi ò mọ̀. A fẹ́ ṣeré ṣeré lọ́lọ́, má lọ sọnù. A fẹ́ ṣeré ṣeré lọ́lọ́, má lọ sọnù. Èmi nìkan péré, I just wanna live for me and focus on my race. Mélòó mo lè sọ, wọ́n fẹ́ méré. Mélòó mo máa kọ́, mo ti dédé. I just wanna live.
Yeah. Very wonderful song. Very wonderful song. So guys, if you want to get into the song, just go on Spotify, go on any music platform that you have, and just type Okokun by Solana and Killer Tunes. Very, very lovely song. Very lovely song. All right, all right, all right. Like I said, it's birthday special. And this is where you get to know me. Some a lot of you know me as Solu Adamsola, the guy who has a babe, the guy who's not so tall, not so short, the guy who's fine, very, very fine. You know me as the guy who has very interesting takes on relationship matters. But do you know who I am per se? Um, you know, I think I'll do an experiment. I'll ask ChatGPT uh to give me to tell me uh something about me. I want you to come up with a summary about me that I can tell my audience in my birthday special episode. Let me see what ChatGPT will say. This will be interesting. In any case, so who am I? I'm a young boy. Um, uh, I grew up in Ondo State. I grew up in Ondo State. I Right from when I was young, I've been a lover boy. I've been a sucker for love. I've always loved anything that related to love. I started getting interested in girls as young as I think 5 years old because I just maybe because I didn't have a sister, so now I have two brothers. So I lived with one of my brother and my mom. My dad wasn't around. So I think I was kind of like, um so interested in females, in the concept of love. It was very interesting for me to see love, to experience love. My mom really did show me a whole lot of love. So you know, you can say a prayer for my mom, just make a wish for my mom over there in heaven. Uh, you know, um Basically what this episode is for is, of course, you get to know me, but it's also a reflection moment, a reflection period for me, and also kind of like a thanksgiving period where I say thank you God, like thank you God for who I am now, for what you've made me to be. you know it's just like I said, it's a birthday special. So I went to school in Akure, my primary school, secondary school. I wrote jam 3 times, hoping to, get into mechanical engineering or something. But little did I know that the world of story would call me, because as I did like this, I don't like maths. Maths is not my strength, right? But I don't know what convinced me that I wanted to do mechanical engineering. I wanted to do engineering at all. I think it was just the prestige. As secondary school students, we really know what we want, right? And that's one of the reasons why I and my partner, we developed Pathex to remove that confusion for young people when you are choosing careers and choosing to go into universities and all of that. So for me, it was more about escaping from the house. So I was looking at what is something nice that I can do that will get me out of the house. And so I just kept picking mechanical engineering. I didn't get in until I eventually chose pharmacy, University of Lagos, for my first time, and then I got in on merit, and that was it. It was that particular decision, that particular travel down to Lagos that changed my trajectory in life. Over the years, God has showed up for me in multiple ways. And when I say multiple ways, I mean absolutely multiple ways. God has showed up for me in terms of friends, in terms of teachers. Like, I've had a lot of my lecturers who just took interest in me. They just liked me, for who I am. My classmates really liked me. And so they were okay to, give me the reins of leadership as the class rep. And then, you know, in the whole faculty as the chief whip of the faculty. After a while, that's a student leader. I was a student leader, so I got into the politics of things very early enough. Um, but academically, you know, I wasn't very strong. I had my first girlfriend in the uni in year one, very wonderful girl. We ended our relationship when I was in my year three. Then I was getting into year three. In my year three, I went through a phase in my life where I said I wanted to be a bad boy, you know, but I couldn't maintain it because I wasn't raised that way. So even though I tried so hard to want to be that kind of guy, I couldn't, I couldn't. So I had to, just someone, I love a boy, can't be a bad boy. I quickly opted out of that life. I met great people, one of the most pivotal friendship I had, or one of the most pivotal friend I had was Judith. Judith. God bless her. She's in the UK now. Very wonderful friend, right? Um, you know, Around that time where I was struggling to, find my feet, know myself, find out who I was, what my mission was on earth and all of that. So I met Judith. We were very close. She was also a victim of circumstance, and our stories kind of like aligned. We're very close. In my year one, I had a group of friends, that were all close together. We're a group, and I think I was the only guy among them, but we're a group of friends. We're very close. This is to tell you that I've always been a kind of like a family guy. Someone that loved, relationship matters and all of that. You know, in my year four, I had another group of friends, Bodlat, uh, Bode, Bonike, Alex, Lola, Tolu, and myself, Sheon. You know, we're kind of like a group from the Department of Chemistry because I had to now move to the Department of Chemistry. In the Department of Chemistry, made a good number of friends. Represented my class. Played football. Did fun things. And then in my year three, I developed interest in storytelling, writing, and then I started, getting close to Department of Creative Arts, and I started working with them, and then this drive, this daring mentality just stormed up from nowhere. And one day I looked at my partner, Daniel, and I said, you know what? Let's do our own play. At the time, no independent play had been done in Unilag, in the main auditorium of Unilag. No independent play at all. Like, if a play is happening at Unilag, it's either Faculty of Arts or Department of Creative Arts or someone external. But a student doing a play in Unilag, organized by a student, produced by a student, it wasn't something that occurred. So when we said we were going to do it, it felt daunting. It was a big, huge task. And when we said, you know what, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And we put up a team together, we put up a story. That was my first stage story, 2.5 Men. Very successful. Over 1,500 people came. The satisfaction score was so high that a lot of people did not realize our mistakes. It was our first time, so we made a lot of mistakes, a ton of mistakes, a ton of mistakes that critics would have seen and said, "These people, you don't have a career in this." But look at us a few years after, and we've got into terracotta. So, like I said, it will be a bit jumbled because I'm also thanking God, looking at the journey and looking at where I'm coming from and where I'm going to. I'll be thanking God a lot. So, you know, Daniel is an engineering student, right? He was an engineering student. So it's not like any of us had this artistic purview from the start. Of course, growing up, I read a lot of books. One of my first novels that I read was George Orwell's Animal Farm. That was actually what pushed me into storytelling. And then I read a bit of um, Stephen King. Twilight. I read Twilight, a big book. My brother reads a lot, so I used to read his books. You know, um, that's where I developed the interest for storytelling. And then when I saw that stories can be made to come alive on stage, prior to that, I was writing prose, which I never finished. I never finished any of the prose I wrote. But you know, when I saw that a story can be put on stage, I'm like, wow, let's do this. We put up a team, we did that, and we did our first play, 2.5 months, successful by all standards. Not the best play we've done, but was very successful. We had people queuing for hours because we had not set up the all. You know, the play was supposed to start at 2. I think we started at 4 or 5. As I tell you, people were standing from 2 till that time. And I'm sure a lot of people left angrily. But the number of people that still came in to watch the play, you can't imagine, my guy. You can't imagine. It was so lovely. Um, you know, within that period was when I met Onyida, right? My co-host on the show. I met Onyida as a, thespian. We were on a production together. I think what's it called? Um, I think it was um Oguskuga. I think it was Oguskuga, an adaptation of The Man Died by Wole Soyinka. So we did our first play, and I went for NYSC. During my NYSC, I decided that I didn't want to push anything, so I went into teaching. I said, you know what, I'll do whatever NYSC, because I'm also of the opinion that I don't want to game life. Like, I'm not the kind of person to game life. What I mean by that is I don't want to influence the things that happen to me particularly. So I want to be able to, okay, see what my own effort and strength can do. Of course, sometimes you still need to leverage on people and all of that. So I used that to stay in Lagos. You know, I got to Lagos, I started to teach, and that's when I found another passion of mine, which was teaching. My mom was a teacher, actually. In fact, my family is a family of teachers. So I discovered that I could teach well. I taught chemistry, taught biology, taught PhD, taught what else did I teach? Basic science, you know. But my most interesting thing to teach was always chemistry, because that's what I studied, right? And a lot of the students were always so happy to learn chemistry, and I felt so good about that, right? I felt so good about the fact that students wanted to learn chemistry with me, right? And there I saw another passion. I saw children. I saw, dysfunctionality happening, in the mind of children. I got very close to a lot of children. Of course, most of them girls, but I got very close to a lot of guys too. The reason I got very close to a lot of girls is that, aside the fact that I didn't have a sister, so I have a sister deficiency, right? I also understand that girls go through a lot. Now, men go through a lot, rightly so, but girls struggle with something called self-esteem. To a guy struggles with it too, but it's easier for you to manage a guy and tell, for a guy now, he just has to see you do it, and he can learn, he can, look at it and, learn from it. But for a girl, they don't just need to see you do it. You actually need to let them know part time that this is what should be done. This is how you should do it. This is what you're loved, you're cared for. You're not small, you're not little, you're not inconsequential, and all of that. So I got close to a lot of young girls, training them, mentoring them. I recently gave up on one because she knew the year word. So I just, you know what, I'm giving up on it. I literally sent it. I say, you know what, I'm giving up on it. I know sometimes I feel hurt that maybe I may have, you know, condemned her early, but sometimes you just have to, just have to tell yourself that there are some battles you get, and don't kill yourself. If I don't do it, another person will, right? And if I don't, maybe life will teach her the lesson. Although I don't want life to teach her a lesson, but it is what it is, right? So I grew passion for mentoring children. So I started mentoring a lot of children, and then um, I've not even talked about relationship per se. I don't think I don't think I've ever gone 6 months, more than 6 months without a partner. Yeah. Now, I'm talking about when I started having, when I started my relationship. My first relationship ended because I don't know why. She was overwhelmed. She was not present, and I was doing too much. She's not a bad person. She was just overwhelmed, academic work, everything. She was just overwhelmed. And I knew that I'll be hurting her by just being around, being available. So I had to end it. It was not great, but I had to. My second relationship after that, what happened? Um, we were just not, because I was hoping to get married, but I just discovered that we're not compatible. Some of it was from me. I had some issues, with 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 her. She had some issues with me, and we just had to end it, right? And we were quite public, so that was quite, hurtful on both ends. But we moved on, and then um, my current partner, who I've been with for 5 years now, and you know, it has been good. It has been good. The first few months, first year of our relationship wasn't so nice because of the situations around it. And then a few years ago, we had some issues. But, like I always teach you guys on the pod, talk. Relationship is 90% communication, effective communication. So we talked and we got past it. We are good, right? Very good. So my relationship life is very good, very good. I am not where I want to be yet. I'm embarking on a new journey this new year of my life, and details of that will be available to everyone much later. But now I've told you a bit about myself, how I got into writing, how I started writing my first play, then the second play I did, SL Bar, which was last year, April 12th, 2025. The biggest play we've done so far was at Terra Culture. Was massive. It was massive. It was massive. Big budget play. And then this year we have another play coming up. Big budget play too. A massive play, story that is extremely, extremely relative to every single person in the world. So watch out for that. Watch out for me. Watch out for some of the things that I'll be doing later in my life. Um, so that's just me, right? That's just me. So um, let's get to what ChatGPT says about me. So this is what ChatGPT says. I am a storyteller before anything else. I love stories because they help people see themselves, ask better questions, and sometimes find answers they didn't know they needed. That's why I write. That's why I produce stage plays. That's why I make content. For me, every project starts with one question. How can this make someone's life a little better? Actually, that's true. Outside the podcast, I run Delta Arts Entertainment, where we are building stories for the stage and screen. And it's not always easy. There has been wins, disappointment, delays, moments where I question everything. But I've learned that consistency often beats talent when talent stops showing up. People often think I am outspoken because of the podcast, but I'm actually someone who spends a lot of time thinking, and that's true. I enjoy conversations that go beyond the surface. I like asking why. I like understanding people, relationships, human behavior, purpose, ambition, failure. Those conversations actually excite me, and that's true. ChatGPT is getting it head on. I also believe in a lifelong assignment. I've explored different fields from science to customer success, business, technology, writing, and production. Not because I couldn't make up my mind, but because I enjoy learning and connecting ideas from different places. Yes, actually, guys, I currently work in the corporate world. That's to tell you that I always try everything. I try everything. I want to get a bit of everything just to, see how the different fields work. And as a storyteller, I'm able to also find more stories because I've been in more places. I've been within, you know, I've been inside different situations. Like last week, I was on a jetty to a trade center where the free trade zone, you know, from Ikoyi waters, to Apapa. And, I could see my perspective of, business in Nigeria, oil and gas, and all that changed. So if I'm going to tell a story, that's because I have seen it. Do you get? One thing that has stayed constant is my faith. It shapes how I see success, people, and purpose. It reminds me that who I become matters more than what I have achieved. And that's true. If you followed my journey, you've probably seen different versions of me: the teacher, the writer, the producer, the entrepreneur, the podcaster. They are all the same person trying to build something meaningful and leave people better than he made them. As I celebrate another birthday, I am not celebrating perfection, I'm celebrating growth. I'm grateful for every lesson, every mistake, every opportunity, every person who has believed in me enough to stay on this journey. Thank you guys for listening and for supporting this podcast, for sharing your stories with us, and for following me and for allowing me to be part of yours. I'm still learning, I'm still building, and I believe the best chapters are still ahead. I think it's a good place to end the pod today. So that's a very special birthday special episode. Thank you guys for being here today. I'm going to leave you with um I'm going to leave you with Wande Cole's Ololufe. Wande Cole's Ololufe. Are you ready? Ololufe by Wande Cole. Let's go there.
Oh no, no. You remember the girl for me. It is you that I want, that I need. You remember the girl for me. It is you that I want, that I need. Baby, you're supposed to be everything I always need. Can't believe I'm standing here, bringing out this whole story. Loving you was a fairy tale, something I would always trail. Can't believe I could say this day. I wish that I could say it's okay. You're everything, I can't even say I need.